It's an interesting time for business. Tariff and trade policies are dynamic, supply chains are squeezed, and cash flow, it's tighter than ever. If your business can't adapt in real time, you are in a little bit of hurt. So how do you get full visibility and adapt in real time? Over 42,000 businesses trust NetSuite by Oracle, your AI-powered business management suite. It brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all under one roof. NetSuite is the #1 cloud ERP for a reason. It's your single source of truth, giving you the data and control you need to move quickly. Real-time forecasting helps you move into the future with confidence, and with AI built in, you can automate the busy work and focus on strategy. NetSuite helps you see what's stuck, what it's costing you, and how to pivot fast. If I were running a business with a lot of moving parts, I'd use NetSuite for full control over everything. Tame the chaos with NetSuite. If your revenues are at least in the 7 figures, download the free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders at netsuite.com/SPI. That's netsuite.com/SPI. You spent months building towards launch day, but when the clock hits 0, your site crashes. Bots swarm, and loyal fans rage on Reddit. That's not good. Fanfare was built to stop that. Fanfare is the drop platform made for high-pressure moments, stampede-proof infrastructure, verified waitlists, and bot filters that actually work. Instead of refunds and rage, you get retention and revenue. And that sounds great to me. Your next launch shouldn't be a gamble. Get Fanfare's 5-step hype drop playbook and learn how to bulletproof your drop at fanfare.io/playbook. Again, that's fanfare.io/playbook.
Too many times I see course creators on the outside focus on the money and not the value. And they're trying to launch these $1,000 launches. And like, well, how come I only sold 2? Well, I'm like, dude, your course is $1,000 and you've helped one person. And so you need to test and validate, can my information actually change a life? Can I actually get them to do what they want them to do? And if you can do that, then the referrals happen. It's like when you see a great movie, you're like, dude, you got to go see Avatar 2. It's not because James Cameron paid you, it's because it was that good. So you have to get your product to be that good where people just want to talk about it.
This is the stuff that we need to hear right now. If you are building a business, whether you're a course creator or you're involved with communities, you're definitely going to want to listen in. And I know that's a very, very big thing to say, but Mark Wills here, who was on the show back in episode 303, this was 7 years ago. 700 years ago would be wild. I haven't figured out the time travel thing quite to that extent yet, but this episode is going to tell you exactly what you need to know today in order to grow a successful business. There's very specific things that Mark and his business partner, Roman, are using in their business, loan signing systems. Very, very niche what they're teaching. We do give you a little bit of background. You don't have to listen to episode 303. You can if you want, but we're going to give you a little bit of background as far as the origin story and where this started and how we scaled up from a $30,000 per month business back then, which already was very successful, to essentially 10xing that and still have time and sanity around building this whole thing and making people feel special. So definitely make sure to listen in. This is Mark Wills from Loan Signing System. Oh man, I had a lot of fun on this one, and you'll feel the energy right away, I promise you. So sit tight, enjoy. We'll connect right after.
You're listening to the Smart Passive Income Podcast, a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network, a show that's all about working hard now so you can sit back and reap the benefits later. And now your host. His favorite color growing up was orange because it was the only color no one else picked in his class. Pat Flynn.
With running your own business, legal questions always come with the territory. Like, can I use this contract or agreement? What do I do if a client doesn't pay? Am I even structured the right way for taxes? Instead of Googling your way through legal landmines, imagine having a law firm ready to address your business's legal needs without the sticker shock. That's what you get with Legal Shield's small business plans. Legal Shield helps entrepreneurs access real legal help on contract reviews, collection letters, business formation guidance, and even help navigating IRS audits. Members can schedule consultations, upload documents through the app, and get support from a provider law firm that knows small business laws in your state. Plus, consultations on taxes or trademarks help you stay ahead of potential problems. And if a client is late on a payment, Legal Shield steps in with professional collection letters so you can protect your hard-earned revenue, all for a fraction of the price of hiring a lawyer on your own. Go to LegalShield.com/SPI or call 833-570-9980 to learn more and get big business legal support without a big business budget. That's LegalShield.com/SPI. While DIY website tools are everywhere, most fall short on design and performance. Hit publish. Framer ships your site worldwide in seconds. No code, no compromises. Framer is a powerful, user-friendly platform that delivers developer-level results without writing a single line of code. Make your designs move and convert with Framer. Framer brings your site to life with powerful animations, dynamic content handling, and a design-first approach that helps your site stand out. Framer is the design-first, no-code website builder that lets anyone ship a production-ready site in minutes. Browse hundreds of pixel-perfect templates or even design something of your own on a totally blank canvas. Add bold animations like appear effects, text effects, scroll and looping animations, and much more in seconds. And it's free to start. The built-in AI handles the heavy lifting of generating starter layouts and can even translate your entire site to any language. On the back end, you'll get responsive breakpoints, built-in hosting, a flexible CMS, and privacy-friendly analytics. Ready to build a site that looks hand-coded without hiring a developer? Launch your site for free at framer.com and use code SPI to get your first month of pro on the house. That's framer.com, promo code SPI. Framer.com, promo code SPI. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Mark, welcome back to the podcast, man. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me, man. What's going on, brother?
Dude, I love your energy. It's the same as before back in episode 303. So we're catching up after a very, very long time. And at the time, I remember you had talked about a business that was making $30,000 a month, and we'll get into where it's at now. But why don't you, for people who didn't listen to that episode, tell us a little bit about who you are and how you and your partner created whatever it is that you created. Just give us a quick little background.
Yeah. First off, episode 300. What episode are you on now?
It's going to be over 700 at this point.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. It's crazy. It's insane. You're right. This has been a long time, man. Congratulations on all your success as well, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Just super happy to be jammed with you again. Yeah. So I tell people in a nutshell, I'm the largest notary business coach in America. Most people look at me a little bit sideways. And so I always tell people, there are 4.4 million notaries in America. To put that in perspective, there's only 3 million realtors. So everybody thinks everyone's a realtor. And the truth is, everyone's a notary. And so I teach these 4.4 million notaries how to create successful businesses. Most people don't realize a notary signing agent, which works for title companies, makes $75 to $200 from an appointment. It takes about an hour. No college degree needed, just some education. And that's where I come in. I see you nod, you shake your head because it's crazy. There's so many notaries. In fact, we have so many SPI listeners from 5 years ago making six figures a year from learning about this from your podcast. So you've changed lives in the notary community by having me on, 4 or 5 years ago. So it's crazy.
Oh, I appreciate that. Well, that's what we're here to do, is to amplify these messages and show people what's possible. So go back to the beginning real quick. Like, how did you know that this is something that you could teach others, or like, where did this sort of origin story even come in?
Yeah, good question, man. So I was a successful notary. I guess I still am. So I'm a notary that specializes in the loan mortgage niche. And so I say that because that's actually how me and you met, right? Me and you met where I was actually the notary at your mortgage signing faithfully 5-6 years ago. And so point I'm trying to make that is I was a successful notary working for title companies. And so all my buddies were like, man, how are you making six figures a year? And I'm like, dude, get your notary commission. I'll show you the rest. And so I literally taught 5, 6, 7, my friends how to do exactly what I was doing. Like, it's really not rocket science. You got to be a notary from your state. And then I can teach you how to go over mortgage loan documents. So I literally did that for 6 or 7 of my buddies. Loan comes Roman, who is now my business partner, who was one of those buddies. He's like, hey, dude, why you're teaching all our other friends how to make money as a notary in this loan niche? Why don't you teach me? So the story goes, which is the truth, we jumped on FaceTime. This was about 6.5 years ago, probably 6 months before me and you actually got on your podcast. And so he was in Northern California. I'm in Southern California. So he's like, hey, let's just jump on FaceTime and I can bang this out in a couple hours. So we get on FaceTime. I'm literally on the Mac, just like I am now. He's on his Mac. And I go through the process in about 2 hours. And so teaching about 6 of our friends how to be a notary in the loan niche, usually at the end of the 2 hours, they go, oh my God, thank you so much. Roman's reaction was a little bit different. Roman goes, so you just taught me how to do this over FaceTime. I'm like, yeah, dude, I got to go. My wife's in the other room. He's like, no. You just taught me how to do this over FaceTime. And I'm still not putting it together. And he's like, if you can teach me over FaceTime, why can't you teach more people how to do this if you had an online course? And I go, babe, can you hold on a few minutes? And so I go back to Roman's true story. I go, well, I'm a notary at the time. I'm not a digital course creator. I'm not a digital marketer. And so I wasn't putting it together. And he's like, if I can get notaries in front of you, do you think you can do this again? And I said, yes. And this is not just a plug, Pat. This is the truth. He read Let It Fly. And through that, he talks about testing. I didn't know this. And I think I talked about this in the first one. And you talk about how you kind of test your theories. And so what we did is he did, I don't want to take any credit for it. He got on there, created a website. We drove no traffic to it. It was called moneynotary.com. And he just realized notaries are probably typing in the word money and typing in the word notary. Started driving traffic to it. We literally had 5 people on a free webinar. I taught them exactly what I taught my other friends. And then they're like, oh my gosh, Mark, thank you. I said, cool. I don't have any testimonials yet. All I'm doing is just teaching people over webinars. And he would run free traffic via Facebook ads or through just the webpage, moneynotary.com. It's now loansigningsystem.com. But again, we started with 5 people, and then the next webinar was 10. The next number was 30. The next webinar was 50. And by the time we got to 50, we then, let's see if we can sell something to these 50. The first ones were just free. It was just, can I teach what I know to somebody without being in front of them? And so it literally was just kind of a process up using a lot of your philosophies from Let It Fly. And here we are 7 years later, man. We have 70,000 students over 6 years. As I speak to you today, we have a 11,000 community, a subscriber community of over 11,000 notaries. I've students who literally make 7 figures a year in this business, all from a $500 course. So the impact we've made has been pretty substantial in the past 6 years, man. I'm pretty stoked on that.
Congratulations, man. That is like absolutely wicked, dude. It's an incredible story. And it's one that, it's not anything super crazy or fancy that you're helping people with, but you are helping people with their career make more money, and you're doing it in a legit way based on experiences that you've had. I love how Roman came into play, and he saw that opportunity when you didn't. And so what's your guys' relationship like? Like, how does, currently he's still working with you, right? And what are the sort of roles that you each play?
Yeah, so he's still my business partner. We're 50-50 from day one. And what I always like to say is I'm kind of the visionary. He's the executor, right? I'm the guy who has, these crazy ideas, and Roman's the one who's the genius behind the funnels and well, it's a great idea, Mark, but I'm not sure we can actually execute that. And so we have a great business partner relationship because I'm kind of the one with all these ideas. And he's like, well, Mark, and he executes it. Well, this is what the funnel should look like. Well, that's a great idea, but how are we going to drive traffic to it? Okay, that's a great drive for the community, but how do we scale this? Because we have 11,000 people. Because sometimes I have all these ideas on how to support the community better. He's like, great, that'd be sweet if we had 40 people in our community. We have 11,000. And so he's really the executor on how to issue the support out to me, or even some of our bigger ideas on how to help the general population. Because now we're really in the money making niche, right? So we go up against some of the other how to make money people. So we're kind of grown out of just the notary niche, and now we're helping Uber drivers, single mom. And so we can get into talks if you want about some of our funnels, but now our funnels, it started within just speaking to notaries. And now we speak to Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, drop shippers, anybody looking for part-time income. And so now our funnels, mostly because of Roman, have gone out of just the notary niche and into just you're looking to make money. We buy those keywords, we run Facebook ads, and we try to help as many people as we can.
Interesting, but you're still driving them to the loan signing system, right?
100%.
But the carrot isn't, hey, be a notary. The carrot is, hey, Uber driver, you might want some extra money. Come in and we'll show you how to do that. And then you reveal the loan signing system and how it works. And then, of course, it attracts people to come in, students, right?
Couldn't have said it better. It's exactly what we do.
Okay. Man, that's amazing. And so 11,000 students, 70,000 students, a community of 11,000.
That's right.
What is the community aspect of this, right? You mentioned there's an online course that people can get, but what is the community component? What is that there for? What is it doing?
Yeah, I mean, the funny part is I've learned over the past 6 years is people want community more than anything else. And I always tell people the best part of the loan signing system is not me, it is our community. And so from day one, I've tried to lead people in a way of positivity. I lead people in a way of that, collaboration is the new currency. We can all be successful. Before I really became a prominent notary business coach, notaries were kind of in silos, like, oh, well, don't talk to me. I'm afraid to give you my secrets. Before they realize if we can collaborate, we can all win. And so I tell all my students, as a rising tide lifts all ships. And so the community really is notaries helping notaries. It's single moms helping single moms, because everyone has these different stories and backgrounds. And so I put them together in a community, and then we end up kind of making these micro communities, whether it's based on state, location, or your backgrounds, being single moms or whatnot. And so it's really community more than anything else. And as you can imagine, 7 years later, I get a lot of people asking me, how did you build what we've built? And so I actually say two things. I say the first thing is whatever you're selling has to work. Like you can't, if you have not tested, can you teach someone else to do whatever it's in your brain or whatever you claim it to do? Then you're dead in the water. But the number two thing I tell people is you got to build a community around whatever you're doing. Because especially with the advent of Chat GPT, community is more important than anything else, in my opinion. In my opinion, as course creators go forward in this new kind of, AI world, information's commoditized. You can go on YouTube now and learn how to be a signing agent, but it's the community support that really makes someone go from A to B, from being a brand new notary to actually making money. And so the way I've built what I've built is by building a community. And I always tell people I'm just one person of 11,000. It's them who make it special. I'm just honored to be part of the small journey. But yeah, it's community support, cohorts, letting everybody feel heard, giving a safe place to be like, you know what, today stunk. I didn't get any realtors in my belt. I didn't get any mortgage officers in my belt. Wow, I had to travel 2 hours for an appointment that paid $50. And so giving some place where people can actually vent frustrations. They can be real. They don't have to, live the Instagram life where everything's perfect. And so if you give people a place like that, a safe place, I think the course actually builds itself.
Dude, you're speaking my language. Like this is what I'm doing in the Pokemon space right now. People come in, the common languages are the cards, just like for you, the common language is generating an income and the loan signing and such. But when you come together, then the conversations aren't even about that
That's
anymore.
right.
They're about the families, they're about the problems, they're about the wins, and just everybody celebrating each other, which is really cool. And you're doing this with loans. Like on the surface, it's like, how could you even create a community about that stuff? And the fact is the community isn't even about that stuff. That's the thing that's brought those people together as sort of the common language to start a conversation with. And then you've just done an amazing job of fostering that, which is wild. So how are you hosting your community? Where technically is that hosted? And like, what's the day-to-day there like?
Yeah, so we mainly hosted on Facebook in a Facebook group. So you come in through a Thintific paid course. And then once you get through a Thintific paid course, then the actual community is Facebook. We actually have now joined Circles.
Nice.
We are one of the most active communities on Circles. In fact, community managers want us to start teaching how we make our group so engagement at Circles. But so we use Circles and Facebook groups. And then through those, we'll hold Zooms. And so if we do a live training where I have like 500, 1,000, 2,000 people on it, we'll do Zooms to really get the live training out to them. But the communication occurs in the Facebook group or on Circles itself, Circles app.
Okay, yeah, Circle's great. We use that as well. I mean, as you might know, SPI has changed its business model from courses to specifically community. We have our all access pass, and yes, they can still get access to the courses, but it's the people who connect with each other as they're going through those courses together that really make it special and what keeps people on for longer and keeps them coming back, which is great. And I would imagine that with the communities that you're building, their friends, their families are asking about it, right? It almost kind of starts to promote itself from within. How are you fostering sharing? How are you encouraging those members of yours to bring new people in, if at all? Is there like a referral situation? Like how does that work on your end?
Yeah, so we do have affiliate program. However, the funny part is affiliate program is very rarely used by our community. And people just refer because the product works. I get asked this all the time. I'll say it again. Mark, how did you build what you've built? And it's because my product actually works. If the product actually works, then you're going to get referrals. The problem with if your product doesn't work, in my opinion, and I'm just one course creator, it's very tough to scale the business just on Google ads or paid traffic. Because as paid traffic increasingly becomes more expensive, the way you offset your Google ad costs is by getting free referrals. And I think a lot of course creators don't really put that together. It's like, wow, it's $15 pay per click. Well, actually, it's not if you had 3 people refer you for free. And so you can offset your paid advertisement or paid costs by having referrals. But the only way you can get referrals if your product works. And so our course started at $15. Today, our most expensive course, our biggest investment is $800. But too many times I see course creators on the outside focus on the money and not the value. And they're trying to launch these $1,000 launches. And like, well, how come I only sold 2? Well, I'm like, dude, your course is $1,000 and you've helped 1 person. And so you need to test and validate, can my information actually change a life? Can I actually get them to do what they want them to do? And if you can do that, then the referrals happen. So yes, we have an affiliate program, but oddly enough, most of our students don't use it. It's like when you see a great movie, you're like, dude, you got to go see Avatar 2. It's not because James Cameron paid you, it's because it was that good. So you have to get your product to be that good where people just want to talk about it. And I've spent years trying to get my course perfect, and I'll take feedback. I have egoless feedback. Some students like, you need a better table of contents. Done. Well, you need better Zoom meetings done. So I'm really into feedback loops. And it's a very egoless way of building this because I really serve the community. And from day one, me and Roman have always been about, helping the notary actually make money, not the way we think they should, but the way they tell us they should. And I think too many times a lot of course creators really have this ego-driven business versus a heartfelt business where it's like you really are trying to help somebody. And that's all I did day one. And, to kind of wrap up this part of the conversation is your community can feel if you're money driven or heartfelt driven. And if you're heartfelt driven, then the referrals come for free. And then your community grows. And so from day one, I've just thought that being a notary is the best kept secret in America for income opportunity. Everybody wants to be everything but a notary. And it's like, no, they don't just charge $5 a stamp. They're making $200 in an hour. I sat with you, literally Pat Flynn, for 45 minutes and I made $200. And it's really getting the word out that this is really the best kept secret. And people can tell you if it's just you're trying to sell $1,000 course, if you're really trying to help. And so if you can just really learn to be a heartfelt business and not a money-driven business, the business grows itself.
Yeah. Oh, amen to that for sure. And I know that you were heartfelt right from the beginning. And now 7 years later, how do you keep that? I know a lot of creators who start off heartfelt, then they start making money, and then they lose touch with their community. They lose touch with their people. It seems like you've gone deeper. What's kept you in the game with actually staying heartfelt across the way?
Well, the technical way is I still stay involved. It was never this moment of, once I get so big, I'm going to have other coaches. I still make sure that I jump in there and I give my trainings. I still make sure I'm the only one who has access to the Facebook group. It is literally me responding. If someone's having a bad day, it's me responding. Like, what can we do to make today better? And so 7 years later, I'm the only person. We're very blessed with a team of 10. So we have 10 employees plus me and Roman, and they're team members, but none of them are allowed to be in the Facebook group. That's me, because I authentically want to make sure everybody is heard by me. And so that's the technical way. But the real reason is because I actually care. Like, I know what it feels like to have no help, no support, not to get into my background, but I have traumas, right? And so, it's really knowing what it feels like to be alone and having no support. And I'm a foster child myself. And so I really know what that feels like. And so part of my mission in life is to make sure no one feels alone. And so because of that, I'm responding to Facebook messages at 10 o'clock at night, even today, 7 years later. And I believe my students and community feel that. And that's why they're so cool with referring people. And it's not about the money. When I first came to you, we had, I think 400 students. Now we're up to, 400 members in our group. Now we're 11,000. The 11,000, like I did the 400. I'm still in. I still care. I still cry with them. I still celebrate with them. And that's the answer.
How do you manage your time and schedule? Because as you grow and scale, it does become harder to give that time to everybody. So how have you been able to do that?
Well, like I said, we have a team of 10 now, very blessed with some of the best social media director in the world. And so my point is I've gotten a lot of people to help me time block my day and do a lot of the things I used to do. So I used to be the editor and content creator. Now I'm just a content creator. And so, we have 100,000 followers on Instagram. And, I just shoot the content, she creates it. So my time now is more valuable than ever, but I use it where it moves the most needle. And I think that's another problem with early entrepreneurs is they don't really learn how to take things off their plate and only focus on the things that move the needle. And what moves the needle most for my community is me helping them build a business. And I don't lose sight of that. Like, I know if somebody gave me our lowest entry point is $297. And it doesn't matter if you gave $297 or $800. I want to make sure I'm helping you build the business the best I can. We still have, when you come in, this might help some course creators out there. When you come in, I have a welcome webinar. It's still with me. Like, it doesn't matter if you spent, you got a coupon and it was $27. Are you still going to team me? I want everyone to know that you have access to me. So I do a new student webinar is what we call it. So when you come in within a week, I get, tons of people on that, new students.
It's live. It's not pre-recorded. It's live.
It's live. It's live with me, just like we're doing right now. But I time block for that, right? So that's once a week. And then at the end of the course, there's another webinar with me, not pre-recorded, live. Because honestly, that's 2 hours of my week. It's not too much to give up. It's the impact that I'm chasing. I know if I did it pre-recorded or if I had, someone else do it for me, I wouldn't make the impact. And the reason I got into the business 7 years ago is I just wanted to help people, and that doesn't change just because we happen to be bigger. So I do an early touch point in the beginning when they first come in. Then after they finish the course, they get another webinar with me. These are free. These are included, not upsells. And so that's the way everyone really knows when they come into my community. Oh, I actually get to talk to Mark. 100%, man. And I call you dude, and I cheer and I clap. I mean, I'm just me. And so they get touch points early and often, and then I'll do mass trainings. Now we have, sold out national conferences. We have offline events as well. But yes, they still get touch points. And I think that's a lot of people get into online courses so they can be hands off. I think really, if you create an online course and be hands on is where the real impact comes. And like I teach my students is, if you chase the relationships, the money follows. And I've been very blessed with a big organization.
Beautiful. I'd love to know what's working for you guys today. And maybe you could tap into Roman a little bit and kind of the funnels, because I'd love to know how you're bringing new people in. Yes, you have a product that works, which is most important thing, and that will bring people in through referrals. But what are you doing to amplify that? What are you doing to create systems?
Cool. So the main thing we do is social proof. I don't think that's the most profound statement, but we plaster social proof everywhere. Again, number one reason why your course has to work. And so once someone makes their first dollar, boom, we ask them for a testimonial. Once someone makes $1,000, boom, testimonial. We give swag in exchange for testimonials, right? These are all loan size. So
that's cool.
We ask, in exchange of value for a testimonial. So to answer your question is, the biggest thing we do is paid advertisements through pay social proof. Social proof. So the product works. I know it does. And we're going to show from people of all walks in life. Single moms, single dads, dual income, white, Mexican, Black, Asian, Indian, doesn't matter. We show social proof of all walks of life because our product helps all walks of life. And so to answer your top question, it's social proof, and we will put tons of money behind social proof. Now we have a lot of things like quiz funnels. We also do massive content. So the biggest part of my job is producing content. So we're on every platform: TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We go all in on YouTube. And so then a lot of our paid traffic actually is retargeting. So once we get, a lot of people are Googling, how to make money. We're putting our paid traffic up there. They may not have thought of notaries. They watch a notary video, then boom, they go to a landing page. Boom, they're cookied, right? They're pixeled. Then we follow them around, and then we retarget them with social proof. So they come through the top of the funnel, either through a lot of searches, organic searches. We have tons and tons of content of the team of 6, mine and Roman's 10, 4 just dedicated to content, to show you how much resources we put behind content. And then we run paid traffic towards the content on YouTube. Most of our paid traffic is actually not top of the funnel. It's usually retargeting. Now we will do top of the funnel ads to people within our niche. So if you're a notary interest, we'll do a top of the funnel. But for like the Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, not a ton of that. But most people are Googling how to make money, and then our ads pop up organically or through paid traffic. So it's a lot of just social proof and a lot of top of the funnel content. And so what do I mean by content? It's probably a second follow-up question, is we just show how notaries are making money. So it's a lot of how to, not what to. It's not a what to do, not how to do, right? So it's what to do is this, how to do it is in the course, right? It's in the community. So we're doing a ton of what to do content. I don't know if that helps anybody, but if you just because a lot of people are afraid of gatekeeping. They're afraid of giving too much information out. You can do a ton of information on what to do all day. I'm a realtor. I'm whatever. Here's what to do. You can pump out a ton of content on what to do. I do give a lot of the how to do away, because I believe once they realize I can teach them how to do it, then they'll become part of the community. I believe in giving value before I ask for money. But some people are really paranoid about giving away too much information. We don't adhere to that principle personally with LSS, but nonetheless, those are kind of how we're doing top of the funnel. We do quiz funnels. If you kind of happen to organically land on our page, we'll do a giveaway in exchange for an email. So if you go to our website right now, we'll give you a 9 success step checklist, meaning you could be a notary signing agent without my help. So we try to give really good things away in exchange for an email. And then I would say this is a better question for Roman. 40 to 50% of our business, our purchases come through our email drip. We have about a 45 to 50 initial email drip we put on people. And essentially what that is what to do with some how to do in it. And so big email email marketer is what I really tell people we are.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I would imagine there's a lot of social proof in there in those emails as well, just to kind of
Tons of social
reinforce.
proof.
When you mentioned social proof earlier, what does that look like? Is that capturing videos? Is that just stuff on a sales page? Like, what is social proof exactly? And if we were to sort of see it, what would it look like?
Yeah, video testimonials of their success. And so I'm in the money making niche, right? A lot of my students actually make money, so they should be holding up checks of the money so people realize it's not fake, right? So because they get paid from title companies. So our niche is kind of cool because there's actual physical proof you can show on the video proof I'm making money. It's not just somebody like, hey, I made $40 today. It's like one check, two check. And so we ask them to show the money that they're making, if they're making money, or we ask them just to talk about the transformation the course gave them. So it's video testimonials. We do written testimonials, but needless to say, video is the best. In our niche, we're very blessed that you can show some physical proof inside the video testimonial so they don't look like, fake video testimonials. So yeah. And we ask for video testimonials. I don't know if this helps anybody out there all along the process. So it's not when they just make money. Because that could be month number 4 in my community. But month number 1, they finished the course. So why am I not getting a video testimonial of how good the course was? So I think sometimes people overthink what they need to get for social proof. Sometimes they're like, dude, Mark's course was amazing. He's full of energy. It taught me everything I needed to do. I can't wait to make money. Some people feel like the video testimonial comes after them making money. And it's like, no, because some people's objections are, what is it like being in the course? Is he boring? Is he not boring? Do you feel empowered? And so we get video testimonials all along the journey, not just at the end.
I like that. That's super smart. How do you counter the objection of, oh, Mark, you're just helping people make money. This is a scam. Like, that's going to be an immediate story people tell themselves when they land on the sales page or see one of these ads, or even just like the idea of a person showing a check. For some people will be like, oh, this looks scummy. How do you tell the story around that to help people understand that this stuff is real?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So I actually got this idea from Traffic and Conversions about 5 years ago. So I used to go to Traffic and Conversions in the very beginning. I still do.
That's an event for everybody who doesn't know in San Diego.
Yeah, and Pat speaks at it regularly, I believe. And so someone stood on stage and said, you should share more stories. And so for me, that kind of hit. This is like year 2. And for me, that kind of hit hard. I'm like, wow, I just need to do this, what me and you are doing right now. So I bring on my students who tell the story. So I have about 100 stories that I've told in the past 6 years. And so we talk about what didn't work. We talk about how it took 90 days. We talk about how it's not a get rich quick scheme. So through the stories is how I overcome the objections, because a lot of people say, is this a get rich quick scheme? No. In fact, let me serve you a video of someone where it took 60 days to get a first check. And so through the stories and sound bites, we can overcome the objections we know people are thinking. Oh, this is a get rich quick scheme. So we'll serve you in a retargeting ad. I am specifically telling you, this is not a get rich quick scheme. By the way, it's not me. It's a story of somebody who's doing it in Tennessee, in Florida, and Wyoming. And so through stories, I mix in the objections I've gotten over the years in telling the story, and I'm very transparent. The money making niche is very hard because it's so scammy. So I lead with, this is a real business. It's going to take you 30, 69 days to get off the ground. I lead with, your first appointments, you might be making $12 an hour, but you can't get to $150 an hour until you work through it. And so through the transparencies, it's worked for my niche. And so I just am very transparent. I'm like, no, you're not going to get rich tomorrow. I literally say that. And so I could overcome the objections by just being very forward. Like, no, like this student, it took 6 months for them to make $10,000 in a month. This was not month number 1. And so through stories, I bring out the objections. I get real people talk about their trials and difficulties and then their successes. Like if I didn't stick it out for 90 days, my life wouldn't have changed. And so I'm telling stories and overcoming the objections by mentioning the objection up front.
Yeah, you just hit it straight on, or else a person's going to make up their own story about that thing. So I love that strategy. And as far as like these stories that you are telling, are these people you invite on to the YouTube channel, or where else are they being shared?
Good question. So I actually do a Zoom. Now that I've heard of Squadcast, maybe I'll start using Squadcast, but we still one-on-one Zoom is all we do. And then I have a list of 4 questions. They're all templated. And through that comes natural conversation. Now I've been sharing these stories for about 5 years. The first, 6 months was really choppy, and then you just got to get better with reps, right? And so we record it, and then I edit it, and then I put it out in the universe. We have a newsletter. So if you enter our email drip, you get a newsletter. In the newsletter, it shows students wins. And so people were dripping on people, students wins. We're highlighting the different backgrounds they come from, single mom, single dad, just got laid off, just got divorced, to really make people feel like they're not alone, like, oh, I can do it too. And so we record it, and then we kind of put it in our machine, quote unquote. It's literally a machine. It starts with putting on our YouTube channel, then it goes in our email drip. Then we segment pieces out that we can retarget with, like, ooh, that was a good 45 seconds. And then we'll start putting it out into our paid traffic.
So great. Dude, Mark, we could talk forever about this.
I was just saying, if people rewind this, they'll get the full playbook,
Dude, it's great. So a couple things. If a person is interested now in the system, that, a person might be one of those people who could potentially use some additional income, where should they go to check out the system? And even if you're not interested in that, at least check out the sales page, see how he's telling the story, and get involved with how you're doing what you're doing, because it's obviously working. So where should they go?
Yeah, go to www.loansigningsystem.com. That's plural system, not systems.com. So loansigningsystem.com. And to your point, Pat, here's what me and Roman still do. We will enter other people's email drips just to see what they're doing. And so I think it's a very sound business technique to find other people's funnels and be like, oh, I can take something from that, right? We believe in something called RDI, rip, duplicate, improve. And so we will literally join. I just joined Ted McGrath's. He has one, and his email drips are insane. I'm guessing you know who Ted McGrath is. And so
Yeah.
He literally sends out like 3 emails a day, where Rowan and I are very sensitive. We're like every 3 days. And so it's really cool to get another POV, is my point. And so, yes, I would encourage any of your listeners to come on my funnel, see what we're doing, see how it works, see how non-salesy our emails are. Like, we're very just educate first. So we actually believe in the 5+1 system, which means 5 emails of value and then 1 sales email. And so what we do is really let people know you can be a notary signing agent without ever giving us a dime. And then on the 6th one, we're like, look, if this seems a little bit overwhelming, we have a course for that. But if you don't want to pay us a dime, cool. We're just giving you basically the free tools on how to do it. And so we believe in the 5+1 system. And that's actually Roman, not me, who developed that. I think if people should go to our landing page, should look at our quiz funnel, should look at our offer, maybe you'll see how amazing being a notary signing agent is. But even if not, like I do with Ted, and like I do with, even with you, our names are in 18 different email drips, because we're trying to learn from people better than us, because, we don't think we're the smartest person in the room. We're always trying to learn from people better. So that's kind of our philosophy.
Yeah, man. But you have obviously picked up so much info since the last time you were on the show, and have scaled and have amplified so well. I knew this was bound for success, and just to see where you guys are at now I'm very proud of you. And it's just, thank you so much for coming on, Mark.
I appreciate you, man.
Shout out to Roman as well. If you could leave everybody listening to this who's now inspired to see how they can take what they have, the knowledge that they have, and put it out there in the world in the same way, what 1 or 2 pieces of advice would you offer them?
My first piece of advice is validate. I'm going to give you a very technical one. Validate your product works, and get the feedback loop. I think a lot of course creators go out with $1,000 product. I literally meet them almost every day. And I'm like, how many people have you changed? They're like, well, nobody. And I'm like, well, start from the basics. Our course was free, then went to 15, then went to 97, then went to 147. Then we had a multiple product offer after 147. And then it went from 97, 199 to 299. And so each part of the way, just keep validating. But the first thing that I recommend anybody is I'd go to a personal trainer, and I literally just gave him this advice last week. I said, he wants to start teaching like 24-hour fitness personal trainers how to go private. And this is the exact advice I gave him. I'd give anybody listening. I said, start with 1 trainer. And if you can help 1 trainer, then go to 2 trainers. You can help 2 trainers, go to 3 trainers. So that is my very technical answer. If you're inspired, you're like, I want to build a community, I want to build a course. Don't try to help everybody. Try to help 1 person. Then try to help 2 people. Then try to help 3 people. Here's my esoteric answer, is you have to serve from the heart. Too many people this days and age have information. Information, it's an overload. You can go on YouTube and learn anything. People don't buy information anymore. They buy you. They buy a leader. They buy a community. And that starts and ends with, do they really feel like you're in it for them? And so the moment you want to start an online course to make money, I actually tell you to reevaluate. You start an online course because you want to help a human. And when you can really get your message about helping someone else, then the money comes. It's not the other way around. I meet too many people who want to do a $5,000 product, and it's obvious you're in it for the money, man. It's super obvious. Well, Mark, I have 45 years of experience. Okay, then start with one person for free and try to change their life. And then multiply that to 2, 5, 10, 15. When you've helped 1,000 people, now I'm going to get some feedback. I'm going to get pushback because I get it all the time. Oh, Mark, you're just not on high ticket sales. But I tell people, if my advice is, you're asking for my advice. My advice is lead with the heart. I mean, Pat, you're a prime example of that, bro. You've done 700 episodes of just trying to bring value, and you're uber successful. I believe is because you've always done it from your heart, and you've just wanted to give value, and you've always wanted to help. And I believe that's why your community loves you. And I think if more people operated from their heart, I think there would be more successful online course creators. I think the failure rate of online course creators is because everyone's chasing the money and not chasing the impact or chasing the value. And so it's okay to work for free. I didn't make $1 for probably 18 months, 12 months. Roman was working full time. I was still a notary and I wasn't making $1. And he was making the money. And because I just wanted to help. And, back to one of your earlier statements earlier is, why do you think community is built? Because I think they really feel I care, because I do. It's not about money. My course could be a $5,000 course. I have students who make $1 million in revenue from a $500 course. But I don't do it because it's not about the money. I know them, and it's not because I don't like money. I just know the money will come if I serve. That's my bigger advice. And so if you really learn to serve, not chase the dollar will always come. And that's what I teach my students when they're trying to build notary. But, well, Mark, I'm trying to charge $250. I'm like, just start with 50 and let it build to 250. Serve from your heart. I think in this day and age, with especially Chat GPT, information's commoditized. It's going to be so much harder for a course instructor to do it if you don't really have a leadership servant type of philosophy. And I could be off on that, bro, but I think you're a great example of that to your community. I know you've inspired me over the years, and let me publicly thank you too. I was telling Jess, I give you a ton of credit. I slammed back in your room after the signing. I'm like, hey, I'm starting a course. Here's what I want to do. And you were generous with your time. You met me and Roman for coffee. And so again, you embody what I just talked about. Someone who's serving, is trying to help and trying to be. So thank you, man. I give you, every time I see you, I literally say the same thing. I tell you, thank you. I tell you that I really feel you have helped with our growth, whether it's Will It Fly, the book that Roman read, or whether it's you just chatting with me, dude. So we are very successful, but I'd argue you have a very big part in that. So thank you, brother.
I appreciate you. And many people are successful because of you. And hopefully people listening to this episode will get inspired and take that desire to succeed in the way that leads from with the heart first. I think that's a beautiful message to finish off with. So Mark, thank you so much. Appreciate you. loansigningsystem.com. Go check it out. Go subscribe. And Mark will have to not wait another 400 episodes till we chat again. Okay.
I'm in, brother. Let's go. Bye.
All right. Thanks, brother.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that episode with Mark Wills. Again, Mark, thank you so much for coming on, bringing the energy, bringing the heat, and providing us with exactly what we all need to hear or actually be reminded of for succeeding in this day and age. I mean, we're approaching the end of 2023, starting 2024. A lot of us are right in the middle of building something or want to build something very soon. This is a perfect way to approach it, heart-led approach, but also being very smart and systematic with the things. And I love what you said about validation and just creating something that works. And if you're not sure if it works yet, go find out if that's true. You've heard me talk about on Friday episodes before the one person, one result sort of approach. And this is exactly that. This is how to do it today. And I hope that you'll take this forward and do something with it. So if you want to check out Loan Signing System, we actually do have an affiliate link if you want to go through it. If you go to smartpassiveincome.com/loan signing system, if you do want to give a little credit, if you end up going through that program, we've had a number of people since episode 303 actually go through that program and enjoy it. But Mark wanted to give that to us just in case to pay us back for any referrals. And that's not a huge deal. But yeah, smartpassiveincome.com/loan signing system. If you want to check that out, and you can even just join their funnel and see what it's like, because they got some really, really great copy. And Mark's always bringing really good stuff here, just like he did today. So thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for listening all the way through. I appreciate you. And make sure to check out the show notes if you want the links to all this stuff. smartpassiveincome.com/session705. Again, smartpassiveincome.com/session705. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and keep leading from the heart. That's it. Peace out. Thank you so much for listening to the Smart Passive Income podcast at smartpassiveincome.com. I'm your host, Pat Flynn. Sound editing by Duncan Brown. Our senior producer is David Grabowski, and our executive producer is Matt Gartland. The Smart Passive Income podcast is a production of SPI Media and a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network. Catch you next week. Have you dreamt about being your own boss, but still haven't made the first steps to making that dream a reality? Well, I get that. Starting a business can feel super overwhelming with legal forms, paperwork, finances. It's a lot. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Taylor Brands. Taylor is a complete business builder designed to make launching your business simple and stress-free. You can register your LLC in just minutes, keeping your personal assets and the business assets separate from day one. From there, you get access to everything you need to get off the ground. Legal documents, licenses and permits, invoicing and bookkeeping tools, and even a 100-day business coaching program, all designed to help you hit the ground running. You'll also get a free, personalized business plan, branding tools, and so much more. And of course, listeners of this show get an exclusive 35% discount to get started. All you have to do is head to taylorbrands.com/SPI. That's TAILORBRANDS.com/SPI. Stop dreaming, start building with Taylor Brands. I get it. You want to grow your business, but selling at scale feels overwhelming. You're drowning in complicated funnels, creating different lead magnets, or constantly posting on social media. And that gets exhausting fast, especially when you're trying to sell to hundreds or thousands of people. But what if you could sell at scale with a simple, powerful quiz? A Score app quiz or assessment asks your audience key questions and gives them instant personalized results based on their answers. Your audience gets to know where they are now and shows them the steps they need to hit their goals. You can set up a quiz in minutes using Score app's templates and have a powerful lead magnet that'll do the selling for you. The best part is your audience actually wants to take this quiz, and you build huge amounts of trust before you even make a single offer. No hard sales, no chasing leads, just value at scale. Get 50% off the first 3 months using the discount code SPI. Just head to scoreapp.com/SPI. Again, that's scoreapp.com/SPI.